Right now it's the morning, I just woke up, and as you can see the beans absorb the water. I'm gonna rinse them and add more water. I'm gonna cook them like in 2-3 hours. This is good because it makes them more digestible for the tummy. If you don't do this process one night before, then it's when you get gases and you feel your stomach upset. Now they can rest here. I need to run some errands, so I'm gonna cook them like in 2 hours. I'm gonna start cooking the beans. I'm gonna rinse them one last time. Here I have a pot with 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You can use canola oil too, but I like olive oil. I am gonna put the beans here and I'm gonna cover them with water. It's not an exact quantity, just make sure to cover the beans with water. Here I have the beans. As you can see, the water covers them by like half finger. Like if I put my finger, it's like until here. And now we can start cooking them. I'm gonna cook them a little bit above medium heat, and I'm gonna add salt. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of salt. That's the salt. I usually like to add 2 bay leaves, but right now I don't have. But if you make beans, add 2 bay leaves. Also, you can use other kinds of spices, like some herbs if you have, like cilantro or epazote, but I like bay leaves. Just this time I don't have them. Here I have 450 grams, it's 1 pound. So we're gonna cut them. I like to cut it in slices, but you can also cut it in little squares so it blends better. But we can cut it while that cooks because the beans are gonna take like 3 hours, so we can start cutting this. So for this, I'm just gonna cut them in slices. Like this. I like big chunks, but if you like smaller pieces, you could cut it in squares. This is a nice dish my grandma used to make when I was young, and also it's very healthy. Probably that's why she made it when I was a kid. But it has a lot of fiber from the beans and also a lot of protein because you have the beans again and the meat. If the pieces are too long, you can cut them in half. Now I'm gonna add this to the pot. Here is the meat and the beans. I'm just gonna cover it. And I'm gonna check again in like half an hour. The cooking time, it's around 3 hours. Sometimes it depends on the beans, on your stove. So I would check on it every 20 to 30 minutes, up to 3 hours, to make sure it's very soft and nice. Because if you don't cook it enough, the beans are gonna be harsh. So usually some people makes them like in the slow pot just to leave them there, but I like to make it in a roller pot, so we're gonna check every 20 to 30 minutes. This is a very easy recipe to make, but you need to be aware of your times. Like you need to start this dish 1 day before, as you saw with the beans, and the next day you can make it just after you have breakfast, leave it there and have lunch for around 3 or 4 p.m. because yeah, it takes a while. It's very easy, but it takes a while. This is my grandma's classic recipe with a lot of protein with the pork, but also she sometimes makes it vegan or vegetarian without the pork if she wants it like a side dish, like a soup. But it's the same recipe. If you don't want to use pork, just do the same. Make the beans 1 day before and cook them the next day. So you need to let them get the water and everything so they clean themselves, and cook them the next day with the oil and the bay leaves. But that's it. Sorry guys, I almost forget. My boyfriend just arrived with more groceries, so we are gonna add 4 cloves of garlic and 1 onion in slices. We can just mix it a little bit and let it cook for half an hour. We'll be back. This is how it looks after half an hour. As you see, the meat is cooking with the beans and it's really delicious at the end. The water looks fine, so I'm gonna just leave it like that another half an hour. So also, every half an hour, make sure to mix, but go to the bottom of the pot, because that makes us sure that nothing is burning. If you let it just sit, sometimes it can burn, so it's good to mix it every 30 minutes. And as you can see, it's on medium heat. We don't want it so hot that the beans are gonna melt, and we don't want it so low that it doesn't cook. Medium, it's perfect. As you can see, 2 hours have passed and the beans are actually done. I had tried one, and you can try one like if it was pasta, and they are pretty soft. But I'm gonna still cook it around half an hour, so 2 hours and 30 minutes total, because I want the broth to reduce a little bit. And also I tasted it, and apparently it needs more salt, so I'm gonna add it. It's like another tablespoon. When you start making them, add 1 tablespoon and just let it cook like I did, and rectify the salt 2 hours after, because sometimes it depends on the beans, on the beef. So I wouldn't put 2 tablespoons of salt at the beginning. Just put 1, as I said, let it cook and try it again. So we're gonna leave it, and we're gonna come back to it in half an hour, but now I'm gonna make the rice. I have the rice. I'm gonna use 200 grams because I don't want a bunch. I like it fresh, so I prefer to make it again if I need more. But I'm gonna add it to the pot. It's 200 grams. So now I'm gonna wash it like 3 times, and usually you need double the water from the amount of rice you use, but I always use a little less because you wash the rice, it already absorbs water, so I always use a little less. So if I use 200 grams of rice, I'm gonna use 300 grams of water at the point I'm gonna boil it. This is the first time. Second time. Third time. As you can see, it's already wet, so I'm gonna measure 300 grams of water. So 300 grams of water. I'm gonna add more. As you can see, the water covers the rice, so it's a perfect amount. So remember, it's 200 grams of rice and 300 grams of water. I'm gonna turn it on, and we need for it to boil. So I want white rice. I don't really add salt or anything. You could if you want, like if you want to try another rice recipe, but because the beans are very tasty already, I don't feel this needs anything. Now that it started boiling, as you can see with those bubbles, I'm gonna lower it to medium. You could even do it to medium-low, but medium it's fine. And I'm gonna put the lid over, and I'm gonna wait 20 minutes. It should be ready in 20 minutes. This is still cooking, but when this is ready, we are gonna turn this off, and it's ready to eat. After 20 minutes it looks ready. You can fluff it a little bit, like moving the rice around a little bit, but it's ready now. This is still boiling, but it's soft, so now I'm just gonna wait for my boyfriend to come back, and we are gonna eat together. So this is a final result. It's really nice. More for these winter times. It's a hot dish. It's very healthy. It's very yummy. So I really recommend it. If you make it, let me know. And I hope you really like it, friends. This is one of my favorite dishes for winter. So let me know if you make it, and I'll see you the next time.